We're going to Paul in Denver. What's up, Paul? How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Man, we are rocking on to the break of dawn, brother.
Right on.
So what's up, man?
So let's kind of get straight to it. So my wife and I have been married for about 12 years. After the first year and a half, she had an affair. We ended up getting a divorce within about 3 months of finding out. But then we were young, ended up working things out, went through counseling, got remarried. Fast forward a few years later, while I was at work, she packed up the kids, went to a family member's house. She was only gone for a couple weeks. Got back into counseling, started working on our marriage ourselves, worked things out. And then about 2 years ago, I found out that while she was gone for those couple of weeks, she had been going on a couple of dates with a guy that she had worked with, or was working with at the time. And I found out about that 2 years ago. But that all took place about 5 years before I found out.
So you have a thread of mistrust. Your relationship's built on a lack of trust, huh?
Yeah, 100%. You know, and then there's been financial trust issues.
Yeah.
Right before I found out about this, I found out that she had credit cards that I didn't know about. She had borrowed money from family members to pay the credit cards, so I didn't find out about it. It's kind of been one thing after another. So I guess my question is, I feel like I've forgiven her for a lot of it. I feel like I've set a lot of it down. I still think about it, obviously.
Sure.
But in return, over the last couple of years, I have felt more emotionally and physically disconnected from her.
Sure. Dude, she lies to you and cheats on you, man. Your feelings are valid, brother.
Yeah.
Like, so, you're right where you need to be, man. This is a hard situation.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to move forward because, you know, we've got 2 kids that's kind of watching us. We don't fight. We don't argue. You know, we say we love each other. We hug. We kiss. We I guess put on a front, if you will. Mm-hmm. And just trying to figure out how can I either get my marriage back on track or when do you call it enough?
Man. Brother Paul, thanks for calling, man. This is a hard phone call for you, isn't it?
Yeah, more than you know.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those kind of macho guys. I don't talk about stuff, but
that's right. I am too, brother. I am too. Like you're a brave guy. I appreciate you calling, dude. I know I can tell in your voice you don't have this conversation very often with very many people, and so it's an honor, and I'm grateful for the call, man. And for what it's worth, you're going to help a whole bunch of people who are in the exact same situation you're in. So bravery's got a ripple effects that can change hearts and legacies of people you'll never meet, brother. So thank you so much. So let's back up. High five to you for using the word "set it down," for deciding I'm going to forgive her. I'm not going to poison myself because she made some bad decisions. And you've recognized, hey, man, I was young and immature. I'm sure you contributed to mess inside your home. She's done had some major integrity issues and some violations. I'm sure there was some give and take all through this thing. Is that fair over the last 12 years?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that's hard when somebody cheats on you or somebody is dishonest with you is you got to look in the mirror and say, did I create an environment where somebody could be safe? Doesn't excuse what they did, but it's good to look in the mirror and be reflective and say, what did I contribute to this thing? Did I set up a world where she had to go hide money because I blew up or I hoarded all the money or fill in the blank, right? So let's fast forward to now. You've been to counseling a few times. You got divorced. You gave it another shot. You got remarried. And now you find yourself in a situation where you're being the one that's not honest, where you are playing husband, you're playing love, and man, you are 2 inches apart, but 2,000 miles away from that woman. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So something about you thinks you are worthy of a woman who cheats on you and worthy of a woman who lies and puts your financial health at risk and is setting a pretty dismal example for your kids. What is it about you, brother, that makes you think, this is kind of just the way this is?
Honestly, I don't know. I think I've kind of just held on to everything that we've been through, I guess, in the past, and the fact that I know, I contributed to a lot of the, not necessarily cheat, because that's one thing that I've never been, and I don't agree with it, but I contributed a lot to pushing her away, I guess, throughout the years, whether it was working, drinking, going out with friends, maybe talking down to her at some point, I'm sure. So I kind of hold on to that to say maybe it's my fault, I guess, which is kind of sounds stupid in a way.
No, I mean, it's not stupid, brother. You're taking ownership. You're being reflective. That's what being a wise adult who wants to heal his life. You know what I mean? So, man, that's not stupid at all. It doesn't give somebody license to continually abuse you. And it doesn't give license for somebody to lie and put your physical health at risk, to put your financial health at risk, and put your children's health at risk, because you've messed up too. We all have. We've all said things we wish we could take back, and we've all fill in the blank. The real question that we come to right now is this: what do you want to do? You feel stuck, and I want to take the walls off. If you could snap your fingers, what would you do? Be done?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Say it out loud.
If I knew.
Say it out loud.
I think I would be done
if what?
I start thinking about my kids and my kids' future, and
I got that. I got that. Here's the thing: your kids are absorbing that disconnection. They're absorbing the fake relationship, and they can't put their finger on it, but they know. And my guess is you grew up in a house like that too.
Yeah, you'd be right.
And so your kids are going to absorb it, and that's what they're going to know. They're not going to know two people who are madly in love with each other and who have disagreements and who come back to the table and who are connected in their own weird ways. They're going to know performance. They're going to know hug at the right moment and pursed lips, pet kiss at the right moment. And then dad goes upstairs or down in the basement and grabs a beer, and then mom gets on her phone. That's what their picture of marriage and love is going to look like. And if y'all are willing to both get in and root that out, awesome. But you don't trust this woman, and she hasn't been trustworthy. And my guess is she doesn't trust you either. And that is a recipe for ash.
It's fair. Yeah.
Is she trustworthy now? Has she changed?
Yeah. I mean, I would say she's a completely different person. Just the way she carries herself, the way that she acts, how involved she is.
You've given me a bunch of performance attributes. Can you trust her?
Yeah. I mean, I think I
Does she love you?
To be honest with you, yeah.
Okay, but sorry, I cut you off, man. Be honest with me.
Yeah, I do trust her. I do. But there's that doubt, right?
Yeah.
Just because I trusted her before, and I was always that person that said that she was one of the most honest people I've ever met in my life, and
she was
blew up in my face. Yeah.
Well, and here's where it blows up in your face, man, because you don't trust you now.
Yeah.
You don't trust her, but you don't trust yourself either. You don't trust yourself to not snap. You don't trust yourself to not hide, to not stay out too late, not to have one too many drinks. You don't trust yourself to pick the right girl. And until Paul starts trusting Paul again, Paul's not going to be able to trust anybody.
Yeah.
Are you a good dad?
Yeah.
Have you changed too as a husband?
Yeah.
So why don't you forgive Paul?
I don't know.
You haven't forgiven you yet, man. Are you worth
And how do you do that?
You write yourself a letter. Dear Paul, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't the husband that I wanted to be. I'm sorry that I contributed to mess in this home. I'm sorry that I don't trust myself anymore. I'm not sorry that I gave my wife a second, a third, and a fourth chance. And I'm not sorry that I'm trying to be a great dad. But I'm sorry that I lost trust in you, and that ends today. And then over the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, when those moments of self-doubt creep in, you have somebody that you're going to call or somebody you're going to text, or you stand up and say, nope, Paul, you're a good dad and you're a good husband. And what happens is you practice that kind of language to yourself. You stop talking to Paul in ways that you would never let somebody else talk to your neighbor. But you forgive Paul. And when you forgive Paul, you can continue to forgive your wife. Or you can set that brick down that you're not good enough, this is what you deserve, and you can demand better. When's the last time you just fell asleep at night and slept hard without any sleep, anything, without a couple of beers? You just went to sleep.
It's been a while.
When's the last time you and your wife got to laughing so hard your guts hurt? And then y'all ended up making out, and it was awesome.
I couldn't tell you that.
Exactly. Listen to me very carefully. Your life is worth that. You, Paul, are worth that. That's called joy. That's called peace. When's the last time somebody cut you off in traffic and you just started laughing instead of gripping the wheel so tight? The last time a politician said something stupid and you rolled your eyes instead of your heart rate going up? That's peace, brother. And you deserve that. Here's just as guy to guy, here's what I'm gonna tell you. You're not crazy for not wanting to put your hand back in the bag when you know there's a rattlesnake in there. You've been bit a few times. That's okay. You're not a bad husband. You're not a bad guy. You're not crazy. You've been cheated on. You've experienced financial infidelity. You've been cheated on several times, quite a few times actually. You're not crazy for having that little voice in the back of your head. Your wife has to understand that. That's part of healing. You also have to ask for forgiveness, and you got to forgive yourself. If you haven't already, that's the next step for you, brother, is you got to sit down with your wife and say, I'm going to ask you to forgive me. And all you can control is you, your thoughts and your behaviors. And so from this point forward, from today on, you're going to start talking to Paul as though he's a man of character, a man of integrity, and a dad doing the best he can. And a husband doing the best he can. Do I have your word on that, brother?
Absolutely.
That you'll start treating Paul with respect?
Yep.
Okay. And then here's the only way forward, man. Is you and your wife go somewhere and you sit down and you look each other in the eye and you lay it all on the table. I'm struggling. We are not connected. We're playing house. And I want to dream about what this marriage could look like. And then we're gonna pick the town and the home, and we're gonna backfill it, reverse engineer it. Here's what it would look like every day to wake up and say, I love you. We're gonna hold hands for 5 minutes, 30 seconds. I will put a note on the mirror in our bathroom every single day, 7 days a week for the next 6 months, next 2 months. I will ask you what I can do to help you out today, and she will ask you what she can what she can do to help you. We're going to get that granular, and we're going to decide to begin to practice desire. We're going to decide to practice dating each other again. We're going to decide that when negative thoughts come up, I'm going to be open about them. I'm going to be honest about them. And if you have those moments where you think, oh man, I didn't remember her having that purse, and then boom, the alarms go off that she's borrowing money or taking money again, you get to ask, hey, are we still on the up and up financially? And she's going to say, yeah, baby, I'm with you. When she's out too late or she's checking her phone a lot and kind of hiding it, you get to ask, hey, are we still connected one-on-one? You're still with me, right? She can say, yep, I'm still with you. You're going to practice this thing step by step by step. And along the way, you're going to teach your kids what marriage and love and connection and forgiveness and the gritty reality of it looks like. And you're going to look up 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you're going to be a ninja couple. Or you're going to get 4 months in and say, hey, I'm out. But you can't do marriage halfway. You got to be all in or you got to be out. What are you going to be, man? You ain't going to hurt my feelings either way. I'm going home to my wife on my own. You all in or all out?
I'm gonna go all in, and I feel like I feel like I'm saying I'm going all in, but I still got the reality that I'm not gonna be all in, or feel like I'm not gonna be all in. Man, I don't know. It's a lot.
It is. Paul, going all in doesn't mean your radar's not still up. Going all in doesn't mean you're naive and idiotic. Going all in says I'm going to be honest, intentional, and direct, and we're going to practice this thing until the ship turns around. That's what that means. Going all in says I'm going to stop beating myself up all the time. I'm going to forgive Paul. If I have to say sorry to my kids, I'm going to say sorry to my kids. If I got other people in my life I got to say sorry to, I'm going to say sorry to them. I'm going to write myself a letter. I'll do it every day. You're going to do something really tough, really hardcore, Paul? Get a journal and write to yourself. It's easy to lift weights and to talk crap at a bar. It's really hard to be honest with yourself. That's brave. That's strength. That's hard. Do that. Make the commitment, either in or out. And in doesn't mean you're going to stumble. You won't fall down. You won't screw up. You won't have bad thoughts. In just means I'm in. Have that conversation. Take your wife out to breakfast. So y'all go have this hard conversation. Something tells me she's wrestling with this too. She's either halfway out the door or she misses you like the sun and the moon and the stars, my brother. Somebody's got to turn the lights on and make a call. Your move, brother.